Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King, and today I'm going to be giving you part 38 of What If Naruto Was Given a Second Chance. Remember to get this on to 200 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new series What If Naruto Was the Same Age as Itachi Part 1 guys, and enjoy that on this channel. And I posted the final episode of What If Naruto Unlock a Strange Power over an Anime King 2. So go ahead and enjoy that as well guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new, I'll be replying talking about to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last part we left off, Obito figured that Naruto was dead. Yes, that is what he figured. Somehow, probably Nagato took Naruto down and ended up dying in the process. Because going towards the Hidden Rain, there was nothing left. All the civilians had fled to the other, smaller countries in the border. But the main village was completely wiped off the map. Inside was nothing but ruined buildings and destruction. He couldn't even find Konoha or anyone. So he was at a loss. He couldn't find Nagato's body. But when he heard the news that Naruto made it out and revived everyone at Konoha, he figured he used the eyes of Nagato, and that probably killed him because for the next month there was no sign of him, or the next 2 months. So he thought that Naruto, the golden blur, was finally dead, and that was a win-win situation except for the eyes. He needed those eyes for part of his plan, as he couldn't even summon the Gedo statue. They were missing the 1, the 2, and the 8 and 9 tails now. And he needed the eyes for that, to use the Gedo statue. So he made his way to the meeting as he threatened Tsunade and the other Kages. He has been visiting Tsunade probably 2 times now, but she refused to tell him anything. And she was always armed to the teeth every time he come there. And not to mention he couldn't go to the Uzumaki compound. But the way Tsunade spoke, he knew that the golden blur was dead. So he threatened them with a war. But all of them, even Onki, came around to the fact that they would not give him the eyes. Him with that kind of power after what Naruto did, risking his life to bring back everyone in the village, they could not allow the man to have it. So he waged war on them, as they were just going to fight him back. There was no way he could win against the entire 5 nations. Konoha was currently at Konoha, as Jiraiya had made it as peaceful as her. It wasn't like she was at prison, as he did everything in his power to make it better for her even though she was still in prison. After these past months, she has come to a realization that she lost Nagato a long time ago. The real Nagato that she knew when Yaiko died. Now, she was just here thinking, reevaluating her entire life. And she still wanted to bring peace to the world, like what they wanted. The Hidden Rain was no more now. She wanted peace for the entire world now, and that was Jiraiya. Well, part that he was going to play on. But many people in this village probably hate her same way. After all, she was a member of the Akatsuki, even though many of them didn't knew. It was still bad. And what about him? What if he wakes up? What will he think of her? As Jiraiya told her to not worry about it, the kid does not want to carry a grudge. After all, he probably will even hit on her. We then skip to Kushina, as she was looking at the unconscious Naruto, who's been in a coma the entire time. We then dive into Naruto's mind, as Naruto was training, using even wood style, as he was facing off against a fox, but the wood style was knocked away, as the Sage of Six Paths was there. For the entire time Naruto has been in here, he met his mother, until her spirit finally faded away. And then, he was brought here, the Sage of Six Paths. Naruto had the power inside of him. As the Sage of Six Paths started to help him and train him, many things happened when Naruto was unconscious. As for one thing, he was able to use wood style, and the Sage just continued to train him. As Naruto's body is adapted to the power that the Sage is currently giving him, that is why he's still out at the moment. But he will awake soon, powerful than ever before. So yeah guys, so it's basically that's where we left off. You guys can switch across to the page and check it out for yourself. So what do you say begin this new episode? It has been 3 weeks. 3 weeks since the masked man declared war on them. All of the ninjas had rallied up. Gaara just finished giving his speech as he was currently dashing through the forest, where they estimate the main company arrived from the enemy. The troops have already been spread out across the nations, as waiting for the upcoming event, the battle that was going to happen. As Gaara was running, a voice popped into his head. "Are you ready for this, kid?" the boy said. "Yes, I am," Gaara said. "Are you ready, Shikaku?" he asked. "As ready as I'll ever be. Just make sure not to die, okay?" "Well, with your help, I don't think that's possible," said Gaara. "After all, we are still in the sand, where the main force are coming. And with your help to use the sand at my disposal, I will crush all of them," Gaara said. "Good attitude," said Shikaku. As Gaara remembered how this came to be. Flashback. It was a couple months ago. As Gaara was currently in a desert. Not in the desert at his home, but in his mindscape. It was a desert where we found Shikaku. Shikaku was locked up with chains. 2 chains was around his arms, and a large one was around his stomach. He couldn't really go anywhere. He was inside the mindscape. He didn't have free movement like we used to have because of the seal that Naruto placed on him. "You again," said Shikaku, as he couldn't even control the sand at his feet to attack Gaara. Gaara has been visiting him lately, but he has made it clear to his boy that he had no intention to be his friend or anything like that. "Why do you keep on visiting me?" "Shikaku, I know the both of us has never been on friendly terms." "Friendly terms? We're enemies, get that to your head," Shikaku said. "The masked man is still hunting down for you. And in order to do that, he will have to capture me. We were almost captured some time ago, but Naruto helped us. But this time, it's up to us. The masked man has already taken other Jinchurikis. Do you rather be there than here?" "I'd rather be free," said Shikaku. "Well, at the moment I can't allow you to be free, because if you be free, I will die." "Well then, go and kill yourself," said Shikaku. As Gaara looked at him. "You're always so angry. And yet, I've never did anything to make you angry at me," said Gaara. "I despise and hate all humans. You are not the same from the others." "Well then, it doesn't matter, you should know, Shikaku. No matter how hard it takes, or how much of my energy and strength, I will do anything to protect you and make sure you don't fall in the hands of the enemies. You can count on me for that." "I will talk to you later," Gaara said as he started to walk away. "Hey!" Gaara stopped. "Why would you risk your life to save me? After the amount of time I show you that I just hate you and want you to die. Because despite your situation, you are part of me. And no matter what, I won't allow you to be taken like that." Shikaku simply turned his head as Gaara walked off. But Shikaku watched as Gaara vanished. End of flashback. And since that day, the relationship has slowly changed. Gaara was surprised when Shikaku called out to him first, making a connection between them. And he started to talk to him more. And now because of this upcoming war. And Gaara promised to not make anyone take Shikaku. Shikaku told him that he will hold him to those words. And he will help him, whatever way he can, to make sure that he doesn't get taken as well. The relationship was getting really strong between them. And that was a good thing. If Shikaku was being cooperative with him, that would help a lot. As Gaara made their way through the desert. Meanwhile, at the rocky borders of the shore, another group was there, with Darui from the cloud, and a few other ninjas there, a few Yamanakas, even Hayashi, Hyuga was on the scene, and many more Konoha ninjas. In the forest area, there was Mei Terumi, and Kojo, and Kirin ninjas mixed with Konoha ninjas. Ninjas were spread out all around, waiting for the impending attack from the enemy. Meanwhile, dashing through another part of the forest was Jiraiya. Beside him was Hayate and Anko, as a large platoon of ninjas were behind them as they were making their way as well, all of them geared up and ready for battle. As Hayate mind run on Yujiu and his daughter Kushina. Yujiu had stayed at home. After all, she had retired to take care of her daughter, and he was happy that she was staying there. After all, war was never a certain thing. So if he might fail in this and lose his life, he would be happy that her mother would be there to protect her. As long as his daughter and his wife are happy, and in perfect health. That is all that he asked for. That's all that he prayed for. Hey, he was snapped out of his thoughts by Jiraiya. Don't tell me you're worried already. The battle hasn't even begun yet. My mind is just running on something. Well, I know this war and all, but I have a good feeling that we will go through this on a healthy number, said Jiraiya. And what makes you so sure? Huh, just have a little faith, said Jiraiya with a smirk. Meanwhile, Uncle overheard their conversation as she was wondering if it was because of what happened recently made Jiraiya was thinking this. As it happened a week ago, flashback. Mom! Uncle and Yujiro heard as the both of them rushed towards where Naruto's room was, where Kushina was calling them from. Kushina, what's the problem? As Yujiro quickly scanned the room for any sign of problem or anything. But she saw nothing wrong. Oh, it's nothing bad. Sorry if I worried you. Oh, it's okay, dear. So, what happened? Well, it's this. As Kushina moved near the hand and turned over, Uncle stepped forward. What is that? Kushina, did you draw this on? No, it just appeared, and I don't really know what it is, said Kushina. As Yuji and Uncle stepped closer. Wait, it's on both of his arms. No, this one is different. As on his right arm, there was a strange circle like a sun, and on his left arm, there was a moon. The two of them were confused. When did this happen? Uncle said. I was just in here, talking to him as usual. As she loved to do that, coming here and talking to him in his sleep, hoping that it will one day wake him up. And then I just was about to leave when I noticed these. I should inform Jiraiya and lead Snally, said Yujiro. End of the flashback. Even Sasuke came over to take a look, but none of them had any idea what exactly happened or what those markings are. But Snally could tell that Naruto was in a better condition. He was in, well, for a long while now, but something just seemed different, like his body was being rejuvenated. It felt stronger, like more power was being poured into him. She was confused, even though they couldn't feel the depths of his chakra right now. But everything was in the right place, everything was stable at the moment. Uncle suddenly looked forward as she saw something. Jiraiya-sama. Jiraiya waved his hand as every ninja behind him stopped, as they all passed on the signal. Jiraiya looked forward. What the hell is that? They knew that the enemies have something up their sleeve, but what is this? The ground started to crack open as strange white creatures emerged. What the hell? As the white creatures, white Zetsus, Jiraiya took in their appearance. But what is this? He said, confused. Jiraiya-sama, do you know what this is, Hayate? I heard from Konan about this guy called Zetsu of the Akatsuki. He's supposed to have a white and black half with a Phoenix fly trap on his head, but this one is just white. It seems like they're our enemy. It's a lot of them, said Uncle. Everyone, prepare yourself, said Jiraiya, they're coming. As the white Zetsus charged forward. Back at the beach area, as the white Zetsus started to come from the ground. As they made their way on the beach, Darui fired off the signal as everyone got alerted the enemy was coming. He sent back the report to HQ, the description. Meanwhile, at HQ, wait, that description. You remember that girl I told you about, that we got the information from? The Raikage nodded. Well, that is the same appearance of these white Zetsus, but the other one had a black and white half. Could these be saplings from him? She told me that he was part tree. As Inoichi then recalled the other report. Something is wrong. These white Zetsus, they are not very strong. Snally took in that information. Yes, that was really strange. Would he really wage a war against them with these things? They are falling in battle a lot, very quickly. It seems that this so-called Mother Uchiha underestimate us too much. No, said Tishikage. Something else is there. Something else. That is gonna be dropped at any moment, he said. Snally looked behind her at Yujito, as Yujito was there. The ATL Jinchuriki was there as well. The reason being, Konan told them about the Gedo statue, and what they need to control it. They need the Rinnegan. So with the masked man not having that in his possession, there was no way he could extract the Tail Beast from them like that. And at the moment, Tail Beast's power was necessary in the battlefield because Gaara could control the Shigaku. Yujito could use her Tail Beast at will, and the A-Tail was a perfect Jinchuriki. So at the moment, they were needed. and they want to get this war over with as soon as possible. Suddenly, the large water dome started to shake as Ao started to struggle with the information. "What is this?" he said. Meanwhile, back on the battlefield, the waterfront area. "Hey, that guy," as Darui looked over. "Isn't that?" As another ninja stepped beside him. "Wait, isn't that the guy that the Golden Blur defeated some time ago that we got the report off?" Darui nodded. "What the hell is this?" As Kakazu came coming out of the water as well. Suddenly, more coffins arrived on the scene just coming out from the earth. Darui's eyes went wide. A report was instantly sent back to HQ. "What?" the Raikage says he got to his feet. "The Gold and Silver brothers? But this is impossible," he said. "It seems like that bomb you were talking about finally dropped." "Tishikage Dono," said Snavy. "This jutsu, I believe it's a reanimation jutsu." "Reanimations? You mean that the enemy has the ability to bring back the undead?" said Yujito. "Yes. And there's a problem," Snavy said. "They are already dead, so they cannot be killed again." "So how do you bring them down?" "Sealing group." As she released a sigh of relief. "We are lucky that we managed to bring all preparations in this war. The sealing group out there should be able to seal them away. Quickly, Inoichi relayed back the information to all of the groups. Inoichi nodded as he got to work. The thing started to shake again. "What is going on?" said the Raikage. "More reanimation ninjas are coming. More of them, more powerful than the last," said Ao. Meanwhile, Jerry was smashing white Zetsus from left to right as he came to a stop, getting the information directly into his head. As a white Zetsu launched towards him, Jerry jumped with a spinning kick and smashed the thing right in the head, knocking it into 3 others. As he jumped back, he quickly relayed the information to the ninjas around as they start to pass out the information to get ready. Edo Tensei's reanimating ninjas are on the battlefield now, so they should prepare themselves. As he sent for all the sealing corps to get here right now, so they can seal these ninjas away when they finally show up. The moment he thought that, coffins burst out from the ground. Kimimaru, Hanzo of the Salamander, and more reanimation ninjas start to pop up everywhere. As many of the ninjas gulp, seeing these reanimations knowing that they can only be taken down by seal. And they have to knock them down so the sealing corps can get to work. As every one of them ready themselves to engage in battle. Meanwhile, near to the desert area, Gaara and his platoon came to a stop as they just received the report. But on their end, they got it worse. They didn't have any white Zetsus over here. They have coffins in front of them. As Gaara was looking up, his own father stood there. Yes, his own father was there, looking down at him. The second, Mizukage was there as well, along with the second Tishikage, Miu, who was wrapped in bandages, and beside him, that many Kumo ninjas saw, the ones who were old enough were surprised to see. Especially, a Kumo ninja was there that was surprised to see him. The third, Raikage, was there as well. As the 4 reanimations looked down, the second Mizukage looked at his hands. "The reanimation jutsu, huh? Seems like we've been brought back to the land of living. To work. From the look of it, for the enemy." "Wait, Gaara?" Father Gaara said. Meanwhile, in a dark cave, chuckling could be heard. Suddenly, a swirling vortex appeared. As the hooded figure didn't even move from where he was. He was just sitting down, a board right in front of him. "I see. You're enjoying yourself," Obito said as he was currently wearing his mask. His same orange mask. He hadn't really changed yet to put on his new mask because he hadn't received what he wanted yet. "Well, everything is going in our favor," the hooded figure said. "It seems like the squad is quite capable than we thought though. My old partner Jiraiya is there. Many of the other ninjas are already up to fight. But still, most of them are nothing in comparison to the past legends, which I currently have at my grasp. I still don't know how you managed to find him, but until I give the signal, do not release him. We are partners, aren't we?" "Why do you keep on doubting me so much?" Hooded figure said. "Well, I was once told never to trust a snake. And by who? By you, of course, said Obito as he looked down at the hooded person. I suppose you're right. But yes, you should never trust a snake. What will you do now? Would you just stay here and enjoy the show with me? Watching the allied shinobi force fall? No, I'll be out doing some scouting. Oh? And what exactly do you mean by that? This doesn't concern you at the moment. Just keep on doing what you can. They should be brought to their knees and understand that they cannot win this war. As you say, the hooded figure said, as Obito disappeared in a swirling vortex. After he was gone, someone came walking over from the corner. My lord. Ah, Kabuto. Seems you're in good health. I joke, said the hooded figure. As Kabuto was standing there, he had died from when Naruto hit him with that attack. He was currently in reanimation. What do you want me to do, my lord? At the moment, nothing. Just enjoy the show, the hooded figure said. Oh, I almost forgot to tell him not to touch my precious Sasuke-kun. But he will have to be brought back to me immediately, as Orochimaru under the hood licked his lips. Isn't he on the battlefield? At the moment, no. I'm surprised though. I wonder exactly where he is. Are they saving him as one of the heavy hitters? So my lord, once he does enter the battlefield, what will you do? Well, I will use some precious toys of mine to retrieve him immediately. Are you going to use him? Yes, I do believe I am. But what about the masked man? What he said at this moment doesn't really concern me. He doesn't have the power that he once held. Thinking, making people scared by a name. After all, you and I both know the truth, Kabuto. That man, whoever he is, doesn't compare to the might that I now wield. And soon enough, I will bring him down as well, said Orochimaru with a smirk. But I'm just waiting for my precious Sasuke-kun to enter the battlefield. I also have a surprise for him when he does return. Meanwhile, Sasuke was dashing through the forest as he was alone. His sword was strapped to his back. He just came back from one of the medical stations where Sakura was. He was supposed to join up with the other platoon. As he was close to there now, he was making his way toward the sand where Gaara and the others were. As he got the report that his help was needed there. If the dope was out of this, he was going to do what he can to make up for the both of them. He doesn't know why, but he had a feeling that Naruto was going to do something that shocked everyone. After all, that strange circle and that moon that appeared in his hand, that wasn't anything coincident. Sasuke could feel something, he didn't know what it was, but he could feel something every time he was around the blonde. Something was brewing inside of him. Something quite powerful. He was doing something while he was unconscious. Sasuke figured that is why he was unconscious for so long. But still, he will do his best now to quickly end this war, even if he doesn't wake up till this war is over. He would use all that he can, all the power at his disposal, to prove that he has become stronger. He will not falter at anyone in this war. That masked man claiming to be Madara Uchiha will fall no matter what. As he dashed forward, currently at Konoha, Konoha made her way through the house. As she had a chakra restriction seal on her, Jiraiya had talked to Yujiro. That is what he did when he was there. Yes, he spoke to her about Konoha, staying here for the time being until she was able to get comfortable in Konoha. After all, she couldn't go back to the Hidden Rain. The place was destroyed. Yujiro was angry at first. Why? Why would she let her stay here? But Naruto was the one that brought her here. He didn't kill her, even though they wanted information. The kid must have saw something in her, and Jiraiya saw it as well. She never really wanted any part of this. Nagato had lost his way a long time ago. But Konoha was a different story completely. She was always a softer one. When Yujiro heard about when Uncle was run off from Uncle, and Konoha had the opportunity to kill him, she knew that the girl hesitated from what Uncle told her. But still, her chakra had to be sealed off just in case. But still they allow her to stay here. As Jiraiya feel like her locked in that prison cell, she would go mad. Really quickly. She needs some human company at the moment, even though they weren't really on, friendly terms. They weren't at each other's throats. As Konan made her way through the house, she hasn't went to that room where he's in, unconscious, because she still feel like it was her fault. After all these months of thinking and going over the situation in her head, she saw many other ways where they could have changed their path, where they could have done something else to stop this mindless killing of the Jinjulikis. Nagato had the power. He had the power to forcefully put this world in the right path. Someone did that before. Hoshirama Senju, yes. That man uses power to dominate things over the world, to make the world at peace. When it was currently in that state, yes, that's what he did. But Nagato chose the other way, to bring war to this world. And she realized long after that that was a mistake. That was their fault. They were the bad guys there. Yes, they were. The Akatsuki has changed. Ever since Yaiko died, that masked man, he just came in and messed with everything. Everything changed because of him. She was glad. She was glad that they were going to finally put an end to him. But she didn't like this war, because many of them would die. She just hoped that Jiraiya would be safe. After all, even though Yuichiro was talking to her, things were still not, 100% friendly between them. Most of them still looked at her as a person that aided Nagato and put Naruto in his current condition. And Jiraiya was the only one that was there, kind enough to speak to her in friendly ways. Even the Hokage was very pissed off at her when she saw her, and angry after seeing the condition that Naruto was in. Well, there was one person. Oh, hey Konan. As she looked down at the one person that was nice to her, other from Jiraiya. Oh, hello there Kushina, she said. As Kushina smiled up at Konan. After hearing what happened, because Kushina knew that she was responsible for what happened back then. Kushina knew that if her big brother brought her here, he wouldn't want them to treat her badly. And also, her big brother was forgiving and nice as well. So she would do the same because this woman was no threat. And she was pretty nice if you get to know her. So Kushina decided to take the higher road and talk to this girl as her friend. And Konan liked that even though she wouldn't say it out loud. She was happy for the interactions, that Jiraiya wasn't here now. Hey, have you gone to see my big brother? No, said Konan. I'm afraid I haven't. Why haven't you? Well, it wouldn't be my place. What do you mean by that? I mean, it just wouldn't. I couldn't just go in there and visit him like that. Nah, you're wrong. Big brother is a nice person. And he's very kind. He would have liked it if you come to visit him while he was in this state. Perhaps it would even help him wake up. Why would it? It's not like he knew me on a personal level. Well, many girls actually like Big Brother. When I walk in the village with him, many girls always stop and try to flirt with him. You're gonna try to do the same when he wakes up, aren't you? Well, I'm far too old for him. That does seem to matter to most of the women in the village. Really? Said Konan. Yeah, they're always flirting with him. Like they want to take him away from me. They should know he's my big brother. Konan giggled. What's so funny? Said Kushina. Oh, they don't want to take him away like that. What do you mean? Do you mean the love part? What? How do you know? How old are you? Said Konan. Old enough, said Kushina. So tell me, what exactly do they want to do with him? I'm sorry, I can't talk to you about this. It's not my place. Aw, come on. We're friends, aren't we? Yeah, we're friends, but why don't you say we go and visit him? Said Konan, trying to change the girl from this topic. Yeah, that would be awesome. Come on, she said. Konan took a deep breath as she made her way to the room. She felt like it wasn't her place to even come anywhere near here, anywhere near the compound. But Jiraiya told her if she was to stay in here the entire time while he was gone, she'd probably lose her mind. After all, she was not a bad person, so he didn't wish that for her. Just locked in solitude for all that time. So he talked to Yuichiro about this, and she agreed. Well, as long as they place a seal that could seal away her entire chakra, and she could not enter the room unless someone made her enter. As they went to the door, Kushina didn't see any problem with that. Konan wouldn't try anything to hurt her big brother. Her mother spoke to her about it and told her to just be wary around her. She was confused about that, but still, Konoha was a good person. She entered the room as she placed her hand on the seal. As the door then opened up as they made their way inside, as Konoha walked slowly behind her. She went to the room. She expected to see some monitors or machines hooked up to him, but she saw none of that. It seems like his treatment was going well. As she looked over at him, it's a miracle that he even survived this. Bringing back one person was enough, but bringing back a whole lot of people that Nagato had killed, she thought to herself as she looked down. This boy was truly something special. As he was breathing in and out, the room really quiet as you could hear his steady breathing. A part of her was happy that he was alive, even though that he killed Nagato, her friend. But after the months of thinking to herself, she realized that she lost the real Nagato years ago. The part of her was happy was because this girl, Kushina knew Jay, they were so nice. And for the rest of the people like Snazzy and Jiraiya, for her and Nagato to take Naruto away from them, that was just criminal. And she was happy that he made it through. And also if he was dead, they would have probably executed her on the spot if they found her. So she was happy for that as well. But she was happy that this little girl could continue to smile as she watched Kushina make her way over, as she held on to Naruto's hand and smiled at him. I know you can hear me, big brother. I want you to wake up soon, okay? As she just continued to smile at him, as Konoha stood there. Oh, by the way, this is the girl that you brought back. You probably already know her name, but it's Konoha. She's become good now, so you don't have to worry about anything. She won't do anything against you, okay, big brother? As Konoha gave Kushina a smile. Meanwhile, on the battlefield, grandstand ceiling, said Gaara as he slammed his hand together as his father was grabbed. As Gaara clashed with his golden dust and smashed his sand into it, Shikaku power overpowering the golden dust. His father was yanked like a rag doll before throwing over as he was caught and smashed down into the ground. A ceiling pattern spread all over his body. A small smile came on his face. Seems you have gotten stronger, he said, as he looked at Gaara, who didn't look that much tired. After all, Shikaku power was flowing through his veins, as he could rely on Shikaku power much now. He could use that first because the seal that Naruto placed on him, but now that they were getting closer, Shikaku allowed him more access to his power, and he didn't have to forcefully take it. I'm happy that you're moving on in your life, son, said Rasa as he looked at Gaara. I'm happy that you're even starting a family, he said. In their fight, Gaara has told him that he has found someone that he's going to marry. Yes, he was talking about Matsuri, as he looked over the smile on his face, as she was here as well, along with his sister who was here as well, as they were over the other group taking care of the second, Mizukage, the man who was real difficult to defeat, as he had a strong genjutsu that he was placing on them. As Rasa simply smiled, even all the things he put his son through, he was happy. Yes, death has really changed him. That his son was going to live a good life now. As he started to be sealed away. As he got sealed with a smile on his face. As Gaara released a sigh as his father sealed away. Suddenly, Gaara created a massive wall of sand in front of him. But the third Raikage teared through it like it was nothing but paper. As Gaara, eyes went wide. This man, his speed was beyond belief. Gaara didn't think that he would reach him so quickly, as he just released a sigh for just a second and the man was already upon him. As he wondered, could he really stop this attack? But in that second, Shidori! As Sasuke's Shidori clashed against the third Raikage 3 fingers, a huge explosion. Sasuke grabbed Gaara and jumped back. Gaara looked towards Sasuke. Sasuke, he said, with a sigh of relief. Thank you. Don't mention it, said Sasuke. I mean, what are friends for? As Gaara had a huge relief on his face. He never expected the third Raikage to be so fast. As he took his eyes off the man for just a second. It seems like things are getting intense here, Sasuke said. Particle style. As the second Mizukage raised up in the sky, particle style said another voice. As the two particle styles clashed against each other. As they knocked each other away. I knew once I found out that you were here, I had to arrive myself to stop that deadly technique of yours, said the third Tishikage as he looked towards Mew. Oniki, you're here, said Mew. Yes, I'm here to stop you. Suddenly, something landed right beside Gaara as he turned. As Temari landed, Gaara, you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, said Gaara. I never thought that they would reanimate the third, Raikage, as a man appeared beside them. His name was Dodai, as he had a patch over one of his eyes. Do you know about his abilities, Gaara asks. Yes. The most deadliest one of them is one that he just used on you. The finger assault. 3 fingers is him not going all out. When you reduce it to 1 finger, that is when it's able to cut through anything in his path. Is he that dangerous, Sasuke asks. Yes, he is. I don't think there's a shield in this world that could block him, except for Sealing. But with his amazing speed, it's gonna be hard to catch him. Here he comes, said Sasuke, as the third Raikage dashed forward. Temari unhinged her fan as she swinged it towards the man. A huge gust of wind. He simply ripped right through it as he came towards him. Sasuke speed through hand sign as he took in a deep breath and fired off a giant fireball. But the man teared through it like nothing. A stone ninja speed through hands and slammed his hand on the ground as a massive wall erupted in front of the man. As Dodai fired out a strange rubber substance that attached to the wall. As many ninjas rushed forward. No! Stay back, said Dodai. But they didn't listen. It's just one of him, we can take him out. One of the men said, yeah, let's take him down, as they all attack. The Raikage burst through and ripped through them like they were nothing. As Dodai, Gaara, and Sasuke jumped back. Gaara looked over as he saw Matsuri, as she was along with the Sealing group. She had arts in Sealing after all. As he looked over to Temari, what about the other one? We managed to seal him away. This guy is the last one that is left with him over there. But the Tsuchikage is currently taking care of him, so we have to focus on this one. I don't know how we're going to take him down, especially with the reanimation. This man has gone toe to toe with the 8 Tails, and even the 8 Tails got tired. How did he die? Asked Sasuke. He stood behind and fight off 10,000 ninjas, protecting his soldiers for days upon days. As Sasuke and the others narrowed their eyes, as they watched the others try to fight him, but the man was slaughtering them like they were nothing. Sasuke activated his Eternal Monkey Sharingan right away. This man was dangerous. He couldn't afford to hold back too much, or he would probably die before he get a chance. Wait, that's scar, said Sasuke. What is that? That is something that he called his greatest shame. I have no idea how he actually got it. It's after the battle with the 8 Tail though. I presume that it was the Biju Bomb that did that. So you're telling me we're gonna need a powerful Biju Bomb to hurt him that little? Yes, I presume that. As Sasuke narrowed his eyes at the man, as he started to quickly calculate things, studying the man. As Sasuke went through hand sign, lightning release, lightning ball. As Sasuke fired out 10 lightning balls towards the man. As the Raikage jumped and flipped through the center. Right now Orochimaru was completely controlling him. He wasn't talking. He wasn't showing any emotion. As he destroyed the others with his fingers before dashing forward. Sasuke struck his hand on the ground as an electric pulse ran through the ground. The man leaped off the ground as the electric pulse shot right up into the air. He pushed his arm forward that was infused with chakra as he ripped right through the currents like it was nothing. As Sasuke pulled out his blade and tossed it towards the man. He tilted his head just in time, but he grabbed onto the handle and thrust it back towards Sasuke. As Sasuke jumped out of the way as the man appeared right in front of him, Sasuke flared the ribcage of his Susanoo. As the man smashed into it, it started to crack. Sasuke jumped out of it as the man destroyed it, but Sasuke already jumped to the left. Temari fired off a burst of wind to his back that sent him sailing away as he flipped and landed, skidding back a bit. As Sasuke focused more on the wound on his chest. Stay back, he said. I have an idea. As Temari and the others nodded. Meanwhile, in the cave, Orochimaru was smirking. Can't have him killing you now. Well, let's see what you're capable of, shall we? After all, I'm gonna be taking that body of yours, Orochimaru said, with a wicked grin on his face. As Sasuke dashed forward, the Raikage launched out at him, but Sasuke, showing an intense burst of speed, dodged the man. As Sasuke's hand got coated in lightning before he drive it forward and tear right into the man's chest. Sasuke released a burst of electricity, so much electric current that ripped right into the man's body. as his skin started to peel off. He came around another and they chopped Sasuke right on the shoulder. But Sasuke sunshed in right behind him and drive a heel into his back. As the current was still flowing through him, his body movements were a bit sluggish as he crashed into the ground. Lightning release, incinerating touch, Sasuke said, as his 5 fingers started to glow with an intense brightness as he touched a man back. 5 holes blew right through him as they started to tear through his body as 5 small balls started to enter his skin. A deadly touch from Sasuke as they started to burst hole into his body with each lightning pulse that went through him. As Sasuke flipped away, as he waved his hand quickly, the ceiling team leaped forward, knowing that they couldn't waste his chance. As they spread around the ceiling all around him, Gaara used his hand to restrain his movement so he could not move, just in case. Everyone released a sigh of relief when he got sealed away. Meanwhile, Orochimaru chuckled, a wicked smile on his face. He had making sure that the Raikage did not kill Sasuke, but he just lost a pawn, a strong one. But that was enough for Sasuke. Yes, it's time. It's time that he bring him back here. After all, he's been waiting to use this one to strike fear into the hearts of all the shinobis around. Meanwhile, back in the field, Mew then jumped away as he went back towards the wall. As he looked at ninjas before going through hand sign. As he placed a single seal up, suddenly, another coffin rose from the ground. Another one. Said Temari, the enemy does have an army at their disposal. A lot of ninja has passed, said Gaara. Yes, it's gonna take a lot to bring them down, said Sasuke. As he looked for this eternal monkey Sharingan still activated. But this coffin, it felt different, like something was off about this one. He didn't know why, as he scanned it. Meanwhile, back at the main base, they managed to take the third Raikage down. Yes, that is good, said the current Raikage, as he figured that he would have to step out there. But it seems like they took him down. That Uchiha fears, he's quite strong. Yes he is, said Snavy, as she had a small smile on her face, grateful that Sasuke was there on time. Suddenly, the bubble then started to produce a larger part of it, like the thing was going to burst. What the hell, Ao said, completely caught off guard by that. What the hell is this? Back on the battlefield, the coffin lid exploded outwards. Huh. What is this? A voice said. Judging by this state, seems like something went wrong. As he stepped outside, Oniki came to a shocking sight when he saw who was standing there. Many of the ninjas looked up, some of them confused for a moment. Madara Uchiha, said Oniki, as he had a flashback to when he was younger, when Madara cancelled all of the arrangements between Konoha and the other villages, saying that they would have to bow under the might. What the hell? That masked man was definitely not the Madara they seek after all. Here he was, living proof. You there, who is the caster of this reanimation? Well, it's... The man suddenly stopped. Hello there. The name is Orochimaru. It's a pleasure to meet you. Orochimaru, huh? What is going on? Are you a part of the plan? Well, yes, but your friend has gone into a snag, so he had to start this war early to gain a couple of things, such as the remaining teal pieces. So he hasn't finished collecting them yet. No, the 1, the 2, 8 and 9 are still out there. That many, huh? Said Madara. Meanwhile, that was going on as we dive back into Konoha at the Uzumaki compound as Naruto was lying down in the bed. We dive into his mind. As we arrive at the grassy field, something was sent sailing through the air before the thing then crashed down. As the thing slowly got up to reveal that it was Hagoromo himself. He looked up with a smile on his face. He looked fine though, as there was something towering over him, something very large, judging by the shadow, as it made him smile. I think that is enough, he said. Suddenly, the thing then dissolved as Naruto landed. Come on, say it. Alright. That was awesome, said Hagoromo. Of course it was, said Naruto. You know, you are rather talented for coming up with things on the spot. Things that most people wouldn't even dream of coming up with? Well, I have been called unpredictable ninja. So yeah, I suppose you're right, said Naruto. Well, you're one of the most unpredictable ninjas I ever known. Well, I don't really know any ninjas. I can't blame you there, said Naruto. After all, you were before the time of ninja after all. Yeah, said Hagoromo as he sat down. The time is coming up soon, he said. As Naruto clenched his fist. You don't have to worry, said Naruto with a smirk. I already told you once I get out of here, all of this is gonna be over. I will not allow your mother to be revived no matter what. Because if they're gonna do that, they're gonna have to take Kurama away from me. And there is no way in hell I'm going to allow that to happen. As Hagoromo smiled. You are the one that I've been waiting for, he said. You. The ones that are different from the others. To befriend Kurama and all of them. As he smiled. As he made his way over. I'm afraid it's time, he said as he placed his hand on Naruto's shoulder. As Naruto looked at him. You mean, time? Yeah, said Hagoromo. As Naruto smiled. Suddenly, Kurama came back out in the clearing. As he felt something strange. It's time, isn't it, he said. Yes, said Hagoromo. Kurama, come here. Kurama came over. As Hagoromo lifted off his feet. As he patted Kurama right on the head. I'm afraid this is the last time I'm going to see you, he said. You have grown up and become even beyond what I expected. I want you to take care of yourself. I know that Naruto do all in his power to help you and the others. But I want you to get along with them as well, okay? They are your family. And make sure they don't get in trouble. After all, you are the strongest out of all of them, he said. I told you, said Kurama as he looked at Naruto. As Naruto and Hagoromo chuckled. I will, said Kurama. I wish you a wonderful existence after this, he said. As he ruffled the top of Kurama's hair. Thank you, father, said Kurama. And with that, Kurama's body started to disappear. As he smiled, as a small tear dropped from his eye, seeing the old man for the last time as he vanished. What happened to him, said Naruto. He's gone back straight in the mindscape. In that luscious field that you had. Remember, I pulled your consciousness here all the time, and him as well. As you see, you're leaving as well. As Naruto looked at his hands to see they were disappearing. Well, I guess this is it, old man, he said, as he placed his hand behind his head. I want to say thanks. As he extended his hand. The sage grabbed his hand as both of them shook hands. Thank you for all you've given me and helped me along the way. And I promise you, no matter what, I will save this world and change it from the destiny that you think it will go down in. Because this time, Naruto Uzumaki is gonna be there. And I'm gonna make sure it never go down the same path. Peace will be achieved. And I'll be the one to bring it no matter what. And that's all because of you. After all you've given me, Naruto said. You had the power in you all along, Naruto my boy. Now go, use that power. And bring peace to this world, he said. As Naruto smiled. Will do, old man, he said. As Naruto raised his fist, as the both of them bumped fists. As Hagoromo smiled, oh, the girls must be out there waiting. A lot of them. Huh, you're telling me, said Naruto. When this war is over, they're gonna hunt me down like a wild animal pack. As he vanished, making Hagoromo smile. As Naruto was gone, suddenly, you've helped that boy quite a lot to the voice. As Hagoromo stood there, why didn't you show yourself to him not even once? It's not my place. After all, we met once and that was good enough. As Hagoromo turned to see death. It seems, beyond everything, he managed to survive and make it through. Yes. I always knew that Naruto Uzumaki was going to be a special one. And as you can see, right now, he's even more special. Let's see what the show has to entail, shall we? Well then, let's, Hagoromo said. Meanwhile, Konoha was standing in the room. As she didn't know why she was here. But she just felt calm in this room. It was rather peaceful and his breathing was rather calming. As she looked at him, he looked a lot like Yaiko. Yes, a lot. As she couldn't help but smile the memories that she got back when she thought about Yaiko. She thought about the days when she and Nagato and Yaiko were there. She looked through the window as Kushina went out. And she went to go and do something. She noticed there was a collection of books over there as she made her way to the side. As she walked over, she reached for the bookshelf. As it was taller than her, so she reached up. As she actually pulled something over. As two of the books started to fall, she grabbed one of them but the other one was beyond her reach. She stretched too far as she tipped over the bed and collapsed right on top of Naruto. As she was about to slowly open her eyes, until she felt a stir. No, it can't be. Is it? You know, this is a rather pleasant way to wake up. I mean, which man in the world wouldn't want to wake up this way? Konan snapped her eyes up instantly. Oh, I'm so sorry. She stopped. You're awake. It seems that way, said Naruto. As he looked down to his body, he flexed his arms. As he cracked his neck, he then moved his legs. I guess he was right. My body is not stiff at all. She looked at him with wide eyes. Hey, what's wrong? Are you okay? You're awake. You've been in a coma for months now. Yeah, I know that, said Naruto. I should go and... No, said Naruto. Don't tell anyone yet, okay? Why not, she said. Well, you see, I haven't had a proper shower in some time now. And I think I deserve a soothing shower before I get to things. So can you hold off and tell anyone until I'm finished? Yes, sure, she said. As he got out of bed. Wait, are you sure you should be? But he stood up fine. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, said Naruto. As he looked around, she looked at him. She was confused. Doesn't he remember who she was? He didn't seem alarmed or anything. Hey, why the long face, Naruto asked. Do you remember who I am, she asked. Of course I do. You're Konan, right? Yes, but why are you talking so normal? Well, because considering that you're here, this must be the perfect sage doing. And after all, I was the one that brought you back to Konoha. You're not a bad person, Konan. So, why would I be off-putting by seeing your sight? I mean, seeing such a beautiful girl like you. That's rather pleasant. Konan felt her cheeks getting rather hot. Jiraiya was right about the way he talked. As Naruto got up, oh, can you do me a favor, he said, as he walked into the bathroom. Yes, sure, she said. She heard him say something but she couldn't hear it properly as she made her way. She quickly spun around as his shirt was already off. I'm so sorry, she said. Oh, I don't mind, he said. Now, can you go to my room and get me my black long sleeve shirt? As he started to tell her what to go and retrieve for him. Make sure no one sees you, okay? She nodded as she headed off. As she locked the door behind her, she couldn't believe that he was awake, and she had to keep this secret for him because he won't take a shower. As she wanted to tell the others for them to be happy that he was awake. After all, she was blaming herself that she took away something grateful from their life. Especially, she wanted to tell Kushina. She went to his room, making sure no one saw her. She got back with the clothes that he wanted. As she came in the room as he was still in the shower, 30 minutes passed. Said Naruto as he stepped outside. As he was currently wrapped up in a towel, she looked at him. Her eyes started to wander as she looked at his well-toned body. She never knew that he was that perfectly built. As Naruto made his way over to the clothes, yes, these are perfect, he said. As he started to remove the towel, she cleared her throat. As he knew that she was in there, why was he currently stripping right in front of her? Oh, do you need some water? He asked. No, that's not. As he completely removed the towel, shocking the hell out of her, she quickly spun around. What the hell was up with him? As a big blush spread across her face. You know, you can look if you want. There's nothing for me to be ashamed about, he said. And she had to agree with that because what she just saw was quite amazing. She shook those thoughts of her head. I'm sorry, I must... As she quickly went outside and locked the door behind her, as she took in several deep breaths. It's been a very, very long time. But seeing that just made her body all hot and feel bothersome. And not to mention, Jiraiya brought her some books. Some of them which she read that had a bit of explicitive to them. Yes, and she was all alone in that cell. So seeing that just made her feel hot and bothered right now. A few moments later, Naruto stepped outside, as he was currently in sage mode. He stepped out, his eyes closed though, as he stood there for a minute not saying anything, until he opened back his eyes. There's a lot going on. I'll have to leave soon. Wait, you can't leave yet. There's many out there that you need to talk to. Oh, don't worry, I know. Wanna come? He asks. As he just walked off without getting her answer as he made his way outside. Meanwhile, Kushina was currently with her mother, as the both of them were in the garden, just enjoying the aroma around. So mom, what do you think about her now? Well, I must say, she's quite polite and nice, but still. Yeah, I know what you mean. But she's not a bad person at all, you can trust me on that. I know that she's not a bad person. It's just the way this world worked that turned her into that. Yeah, I know, said Kushina. That's why, when I grow big I'm going to change all of that with Big Brother. Because when he wakes up, the both of us are going to change this world together to make sure no more people like Conan are tricked into bad ways. Right, Mom? Yeah, sure. Say you just ruffle, Kushina's here. You're gonna make me one proud mom. I'm gonna ask you one question. Who the hell cut my hair? Was it you? The both of them froze hearing that voice. As they slowly turned around to see. They rubbed their eyes to see if they were dreaming. This must be a dream. It must be a dream. But it wasn't. As Kushina started to cry, tears of joy, including Yujiro. Kushina was the first one to shot forward as he leaped, as Naruto caught her in his arms. Big Brother, she screamed as he held on to him tight as she hugged him. As Naruto smiled. Come on, said Naruto, you don't have to act so formal. Yujiro shot forward as she crashed into the both of them, hugging the both of them tight, as she wrapped her arms around the both of them with Kushina in the middle. Kushina held on to her brother rather tight as she was so happy, the both of them crying. Yujiro then stepped back as she looked at him, checking him over. You're okay? Yeah, I'm fine, said Naruto, as Kushina was still holding on to him, crying in his chest. As Yujiro noticed the markings around his eyes, he was in Sage mode, but the Rinnegan wasn't changed by the Sage mode. The markings were just around his eyes. So you're fine now, Big Brother? Said Kushina. Yeah, I'm fine. Okay, please, don't ever leave me again. Don't worry, I won't, said Naruto. Even in this ninja world, promising something about that was hard to do. But knowing Naruto, Yujiro knew that he was confident enough that he could do and held up to that promise. It's wonderful to see you two again, said Naruto. I'm happy that I'm finally awake, but I have to go. The two of them looked at him like he was crazy. Come on, don't give me that look, he said. But you just wake up. We need to reunite, said Kushina, and talk to each other. You've been asleep for so long, I miss you. Yeah, I know. And once I come back, we'll do all of that. But right now, a lot of people out there are in trouble. And I can't afford them to get hurt when I have the power to stop most of this, he said, as he gave the two of them a smile. Come on, don't you two have faith in me, he said. Of course we do, said Yujiro, but you just woke up. We should have Snazzy or a medic look over you. Don't worry, I'm fine. I wasn't exactly just unconscious for the past couple of months. I was getting help, said Naruto. What do you mean, she said. As Naruto smiled at her, she knew that he had something up his sleeve. He was doing something. As Naruto bent down. Alright, Kushina, I need to be strong for me, okay? You've always been, so don't give up hope right now. I won't, she said. But you just got up. Yeah, I know. And it's a shame that I have to go right now, but I have to. But don't worry, once I come back, we'll go out and we'll enjoy a lot of time together. Just me and you, okay? Okay, she said, as Naruto got back up. As he looked at Yujiro, as he placed a hand on her shoulder. I need you to trust me as well. You've always done. And you know, I'm better out here to help than just staying here around. A lot of people are gonna need my help, said Naruto. I know that, she said, but you just... As Naruto placed a hand on her cheek, wiped away a tear. I know, he said, but don't worry. Once I get back, we'll have all the time left to spend with each other. I'm gonna end this now, he said. He felt the confidence radiating off of him. As he looked at Kushina and smiled. Be safe, big brother. I will. And this time when I come back, we can talk and enjoy ourselves. As she nodded, as he turned towards Yujiro. Oh, don't tell anyone that I'm awake yet. I kinda wanna start things with a bang, he said. She shook her head. You and your antics. Well, you know me too much, he says. He walked off. As he walked over towards Conan. I'm happy that you're not angry with me, he said to her. Angry with you? Why would I be? Well, he pointed towards his eyes. After what? No. I had months to think about this, and the things that I've done and what happened. and I have no right to be angry at you. Well then, I'm grateful that you aren't. So that we could be friends after this. After all, you are a good person, Konan. And I'm glad that you're already staying here because I was going to invite you to live at the compound. As he smiled at her. Really? Yeah, he said, as he gave her one of those charming smiles that made her cheeks become a bit too red. Thank you, she said. It seems there was one more person than Jiraiya. And Kushner. You guys stay safe until I come back, okay? It's time I finish this, he said. Kushner rushed over as she hugged him one last time, as Naruto hugged her back. I love you, big brother. I love you too, he said. As Yujiro gave him a smile as he smiled back at her, before closing his eyes, as he then vanished. As they watched the spot that he left, Yujiro had tears of joy rolling from her eyes as she wiped them away. She was just so happy that he was awake, but she didn't like that he had to rush into battle the moment he woke up. But knowing him, he had something up his sleeve. Meanwhile, on the battlefield, smoke filled the entire area as a huge battle just commenced. Sasuke, Gaara, Temari, and a few others, including Matsuru, was there, and the Tsuchikage. The group had engaged and Madara had wiped out a lot of them, while many of them were still alive. Madara had his Rinnegan activated after a brief scramble with Sasuke, where he absorbed a Chidori. As he now stood on the stone looking down at them, with a smirk on his face. As he speed through hand sign, his Susanoo flared up behind him, going through hand sign as well. As he looked over at Onki with a smirk, Onki knew that something was wrong. That was when the entire place started to become dark. Ninjas all around started to drop their weapons in shock and fear. What the hell was the man said? Onki's eyes went wide, so did Sasuke, Gaara, Temari, Matsuru, all of them. As the group watched a giant meteor fall from the sky. You're taking us out as well, said the second Mizukage. Yes, we are reanimations. We will reform, but they will die. Run, said Dodai, as the ninja started to run back. Sasuke started to run forward though. Sasuke, Gaara said. I can stop this, said Sasuke as he dashed forward. Madara smirked. There was another one with good eyes down there. He didn't want to join him. But let's see what he is capable of, said Madara, as the meteor was falling down from the sky. As Oniki fly upwards, he was going to make it lighter. Whatever the Uchiha was going to do, he could help as well. But that was then raindrops started to fall. Thunder started to shake the heavens above. The entire sky started to crackle. Dangerous thunder booming through the heavens. As something was seen, moving in the speed of light. Normal eyes couldn't keep track of it, as the thing fly right into the meteor. The thunder, lightning crashing, as the thing moved off with incredible speed, going right inside. No one saw exactly what it was, because the thing went in with so much speed, they didn't even see it. They just saw a blur. A golden blur. Suddenly, boom. Madara was shocked, so was everyone else when the complete meteor exploded. When terrible force of nature ripped through the giant chunks of rock, incinerating them like they were nothing, tearing the rocks to cinder, so no one down below would get hurt. Sasuke smirked as he calmed himself. He knew that he would enter the battlefield a bang. Meanwhile, at HQ, Ao, who was holding onto the bubble, the thing exploded. Madara power made the thing unstable, but this new power that just entered the field made the thing explode. As Ao took off the thing off his head. What the hell? Tsunade looked over. Inuichi, tell me what's going on out there, she said. Someone arrived. They managed to stop the meteor. Tsunade and the Raikage was on their feet, as they heard about the meteor that was incoming. And then, who had enough power to stop the meteor so quickly? Was it Sasuke? Was it the Tsuchikage? No, it was a new person on his own. I'm getting confirmation right now, as he made contact with one of the Yamanakas out there. The golden blur, he said. Wait, what, said Tsunade? Back on the battlefield, everyone looked up as the lightning was crackling dangerously. Thunder was clapping. As Temari eyes went wide. Everyone else did when they saw the person simply standing still in the air. Oniki looked up. How is this possible, he said. Suddenly, the person blinked out of view, like he teleported. like he was never even there. Madara narrowed his eyes. He's fast. As a hand rested right on Madara's shoulder. As he looked over, I must say, you're a fast one, said Madara. Yeah, I've been told that, said Naruto. So, I heard you like to dance. You want to try dance with me, Naruto asked. But guys, if you end episode right here, if you want the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn the notifications stay posted. And also, go ahead and check out the new series of What If Naruto was the same age as Itachi, and enjoy that, guys. And also, I posted the last episode of What If Naruto unlock a strange power over an anime king too. So go ahead and enjoy that, guys. But for now, I'm out of here. See you guys soon. Peace.